right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having a wonderful day. It is August 20th, 2025, and we're getting through to the middle of the week. Yesterday was a little bit wild. You didn't get as many headlines, but you got a 2% move or so, 1.5%. But now we're hearing a little bit. We've heard about chips in other companies. I think yesterday's Watchlist came to life pretty quickly. But other than that, Donald Trump is other companies. I think yesterday's Donald Trump is talking about firing another Fed person, Fed cook. So that got in the way here this morning. You got a little bit of a reaction, started moving the dollar around, and you're probably going to hear about that until we either hear about other policy or we're going to now play this game. A little bit of high stakes ahead of Mr. Jerome Powell and Jackson Baga. So, Chad, I hope you're ready for it. It should be a good time. I don't know. Am I on the here, hold on. I don't know. I think it's not supposed to have a delay, but I think it might have a delay. Here, let me try something. Please hold. Did that do? Come on! No. All right, there you go. There you go. I think I fixed it. Do you guys hear me now? So yeah, either way, I hope you got the first part. I wanted to make sure there was not a delay on that, but when it's all said and done, we're either going to have an exciting day or not. But again, the high stakes nature of today, or just leading into Powell, everybody is going to be hyping that up. So I hope you're ready for it, and I hope you're locked in, Chad. But good morning. How are ya? Oh, you're in Spain. What up, Jack? Good morning. Ryan Fahar, Investor Ivy, Lucky Soldier, Connor. Good morning, baby. What up, Tim Whitman, Mr. Malone, Anzel, Big Cleveland. Okay, the chat going crazy now, baby. What up, Johnny B. Good? What up, Hustlin' Ain't Easy, Danny Flames, ABC, Toy Soldier, All Day Narrow, Humble Business, Habibi, Isaiah Habibi, Mr. Edward, Senor Carrillo. Oh, my goodness. Good morning. What up, Midwest? What up, Opinion? What up, Crispy Bacon? Manager, YMB, Coma, Brown Tom Crows, Nate McVibes. Good morning, baby. What up, Theo? What up, Farmer Jim? Good morning. Are you ready, Mr. Mosby? You got some long-term plays or what? What up, Juraj? What up, Lista? Oh, man. Okay, Woosa. I don't want to get too hyped, man. I don't want to get too hyped, but I hope your morning is good. It's middle of the week, baby. Middle of the week on a Wednesday. So let's make the most of it. And now, here is Josh AI with the news. Good morning.
Top overnight news, trade tariffs, key trading partners still waiting for tariff relief on exports such as cars and steels, following investment pledges. Link, Bessent says China's status quo working well, notes China is biggest tariff revenue source. Bloomberg Reuters, China rare earth exports to U.S. hit 6-month high with volumes up 76% MEM in July. Bloomberg, U.S. announces 407 new product categories to steel and aluminum tariffs list. Reuters, Bloomberg, Mexico proposes reinstating North American Steel Committee to improve U.S. trade ties and reduce reliance on Asia. Bloomberg, geopolitics, European leaders doubt Putin's peace sincerity, prefer strategy to humor Trump, and push for tougher sanctions on Russia. Politico, despite push from Trump, lots of skepticism Putin will meet with Zelensky. NY Times Politico, Trump says U.S. will help defend Ukraine, but no troops to be deployed on the ground. Washington Post Reuters, Japan PM indicated involvement with NATO on Ukraine security guarantees. Nikkei, central banks, global central banks under increasing pressure from governments to lower interest rates in order to keep down borrowing costs. FT, Riksbank keeps powder dry as inflation surge tests dovish resolve. Bloomberg DI RBNZ cuts OCR by 25 BP. Statement and forecast leans dovish. Bloomberg. Bank Indonesia surprises with rate cut. Business Times. Lagarde warns Eurozone growth to slow despite easing trade uncertainty. Bloomberg. China keeps loan prime rates unchanged. Authorities resist fresh stimulus to support growth. Reuters. Pace of China fiscal spending reaches up highest in nearly 3 years, but not translating to quicker growth. Bloomberg. Markets. Trades positioning for September rate. Cut risk being upended if there is no dovish tilt from Powell at Jackson Hole. Bloomberg. Swiss franc faces biggest bearish premium in 2 years as traders bet on EUR, CHF strength. Bloomberg, NZ dollar posts 4-month low as RBNZ cuts rates, signals more to come. FT. Japan's 20-year bond yields under continued pressure on rising debt levels and increased government spending. Reuters. Washington, Trump administration weighs taking stakes in other tech companies that receive CHIPS Act funding to build factories in U.S. Reuters. Besson anticipates stablecoins to be important source of treasury demand. FT. Trump slams Powell for hurting housing. Renewed call for sharp Fed rate cut. Reuters. White House builds momentum for Fed nominee as Trump pushes quick confirmation for economist Stephen Moran. Politico. FHA Director Pulte calls on Attorney General Bondi to investigate Fed Governor Cook over mortgages. Bloomberg. Trump revokes security clearances for 37 officials, accuses intelligence community of politicization in latest retribution move. AP. Musk quietly stalling formation of new political party. Reuters. Economy. UK inflation rises more than expected in July. Guardian. Japan exports decline most in more than 4 years as tariffs depress shipments of autos and parts. Steel. Bloomberg. UK survey shows pay deals held at 3% for 8-month. Reuters. UK eyes mansion tax overhaul as Reeves mulls CGT reforms to plug £20 billion fiscal hole. FT. Corporate. McDonald's lowering cost of combo meals. Company offering financial support for franchisees. Link. BHP and Rio Tinto lobby Trump to discuss Arizona copper mine after Trump lashes court ruling delaying project. FT. Chevron merges Hess exploration team and aims to challenge conventional thinking after $53 billion takeover. Bloomberg. Tom's Capital seeks meeting with CSX board, fueling merger speculation after stake purchase. Reuters.
There's more. Good morning, Chattadonia. S&P futures, they're down by 0.1 Wednesday morning. Comes after U.S. equities finished mostly lower on Tuesday, with the S&P down for a third straight session, seeing the biggest drop since the softer-than-expected payrolls data on August 1st. Big tech and other plays and notable laggers, while select cyclical pockets of the market fared better. Treasuries unchanged and slightly weaker after trading firmer on Tuesday. Dollar is off by 0.1, gold is up by 0.3, Bitcoin is up by 0.3, and WTI is up by 1.3. To Tuesday's rotation, still getting a lot of attention given the related rehashing concerns surrounding big tech concentration, AI capex bubbles, China competition, and stretch valuations. Fed Chair Powell Jackson Hole speech on Friday continues to loom large, with a lot of debate on whether or not he will tilt more dovish and some uncertainty about what is priced in at this point. Retail earnings, the other big area of focus this week. Market looks for a lot more color on consumer sentiment, tariff impact, trade downs, bifurcation, discretionary versus staples, and services versus goods. Nothing on the economic calendar this morning, though July minutes are out this afternoon. In addition, Fed Waller and Fed Bostic scheduled to speak. Waller, who has reportedly emerged as the leading candidate to replace Powell as Fed chair, dissented at the July meeting in favor of a rate cut. Bostic has recently reiterated his call for just one 25 basis point rate cut this year and is probably still shopping for municipal bonds. Flash claims and flash manufacturing service PMIs for August also come out. Existing home sales on Thursday. Fed Chair Powell and Jackson Hole on Friday. Lows largely in line, EPS better, full-year raised revenue guide, while takeaways positive on $8.8 billion deal to acquire Foundation Building Materials. TJX beat and raised, fitting with positive sentiment surrounding off-price target. Q2 off by a bit better than feared and reiterated full-year guide, while announcing COO Michael Fidelki to serve as the next CEO. Reported earlier this month, said some investors wanted an outsider. Estee Lauder results and guide underwhelmed. ADI beat and guided above, with auto industrial revenue accelerating. ALC under pressure after it missed its Q2 and lowered full-year operating guide, with takeaways flagging continued softness in surgical competitive headwinds. Keys beat improved slightly better guidance. Toll beat on key metrics such as closings and home building GM, though ASP light and full-year revenue guide at the lower end of prior range. LZB down big after reporting mixed fiscal Q1 results and guiding Q2 below, with takeaways focused on weaker margins margins. Outside of earnings, Reuters reported Commerce Secretary Lutnick wants U.S. to take stakes in all companies that receive CHIPS Act funding, including Micron, TSM, and Samsung. And Josh told you this last night in middle of yesterday. McDonald's cutting combo meal prices after convincing franchisees. HTZ is up on reported partnership with Amazon to sell used vehicles online. And Day confirmed acquisition discussions with Thomas Bravo. Wow! Habibi! We have a more Habibi. It's actually not that much. So, not bad. I hope today. Yesterday, we had our plays set up, so we just cashed out in the morning, and then there was nothing. So, I don't know. We're going to play some high-stakes poker today, Chad, with Jackson Hole. So, we'll see. Moving higher, HT is up by 4.6 earnings. TJX 4.2 off earnings. ADI 3.7 off earnings. Day is up by 3.5. Confirms it engaged with advanced discussions with Thomas Bravo regarding potential acquisition. Lowe's up 3.2 earnings and acquire foundation building. Snow is up by 2.4. Bank of America upgrade. New is up 1.8. City upgrade. AHL 14.6. Sampo in discussions to acquire Aspen Insurance. Hertz is up 9.2 to sell used cars on Amazon Autos. RERE up 3.0 earnings. Futu 2.8 off earnings. Upstart is up by 2.4. JP Morgan upgrade. RCKT up by 27. FDA lifts clinical hold on pivotal phase 2 trial of RP-A501. COCH up 16.5. Secures 3 new patents. Gilt is up by 6.2. Awarded over $60 million for Stellar Blue Sidewinder terminals. LZMH is up by 5. Opal 4.9 insider buy. JHX is down by 26 off of earnings. ALC is down by 11 off of earnings. Target down 10.7 off earnings. Estee Lauder down 9 off earnings. Micron down 5. In reaction, a report to Samsung's sample sent to NVIDIA has passed reliability verification and mass production possible as soon as November. TEM down 3.6. Katos down 3.5. Carvana down 3.0 in reaction to Hertz selling on Amazon Autos. SQM down 1.7 off earnings. BZ down 1.6 off earnings. JKHY down 1.6 off earnings. Unity down 1.5. Summit down 1.5. ANET down 1.3. AMD down 1.3. Keys down 0.1 off earnings. Toll Brothers down 1.2 off earnings. Lazy Boy down 22 off earnings. CLDX down 11. Top line results for phase 2 of Barzolvolimab blah, 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 will not advance development in EOE. Novavax down 8.5. Bank of America downgrade. Zim is down 5.7 off earnings. IPX down 5.3. Roth Capital initiates buy. CMPO down 4.9. JP Morgan downgrade. Car and CarMax or Avis and CarMax down on the Hertz news. IQ down 3.9 off earnings. Gap down 2.1 off City downgrade. ANF down 2.0 City downgrade. NVNO down 71 receives not approvable letter from FDA for the Venovalve. CTSO down 23. FDA found no issues with device safety but uphold prior de novo denial decision. EU down 9.7 upsized offering. And RSKD down 3.6 JP Morgan upgrade or downgrade. Woo! So, Chadadonia. Is that good time or what? Yeah, 6:15, baby. So, we got time for questions. And again, some of you use the watch list for some good questions, even if we've covered them 5 years ago. But yeah, you could ask right now. If you have anything, don't ask me to make a play. I hope you've been paying attention the last couple of weeks and months. But if you want to talk about anything, now would be the moment. Otherwise, I hope you're doing good, and I hope you understand this early that the Lord is with you and that the world will bend to your will if you actually control your thoughts and beliefs, okay? If you don't, nothing will happen. So, yeah, I encourage you to think critically today. I encourage you to think on your own. I encourage you not to get influenced, and I encourage you to try not to influence others. So, yeah, I don't know. That's a little reminder I could give you. Just a little bit. Bump, bump, bump. Just a little. I need to look at a calendar, though. Hold on. I'm looking for something. I'm actually shopping right now, believe it or not. So I have a couple of ideas. I don't think I'm going to take them, but if I end up doing it, it's all related to the calendar. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's see if it exists. Oh, it kind of does. Okay, I found it. All right. Jackson Hole is approaching, indeed. I'm influenced to buy a house. Amen. But actually, it depends on how you buy it, right? That's why I keep saying, like, if you end up buying a house because it's a bad deal, but you like the kitchen, I think the backsplash influenced you. But, if you could accurate thought critically without anything, it is objectively a good deal, then I like that. I like that. And I don't know. I'm glad that I could give some people this idea of what is possible. I think that's the big issue when it comes to the housing, and especially for all of you listening, man, or if you don't own a house right now, but listen to what I'm saying, bro. You got to believe, man. The world will bend to your will, my brother. And that's what I've learned, over these years. There's my whole career in real estate and stocks. Is just knowing that it's more possible than most people think. Let me put it this way. Before I ever bought a house, I really thought it was impossible to a certain degree. It reminded me of the first time when I was little and I would look at cars. I would open up the penny saver. I don't know if you guys remember the penny saver, but that's how I would look at cars when I was a kid. I would take the penny saver and I would go to the used cars and I would look at the little pictures and what was for sale. And I remember I would look at like Ford Escapes and I was like, what the fuck you mean $20,000? I was like, who got 20,000? Because we were poor. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never, my family and like, what do you mean $20,000 for a car? I'm like, wait, what? I don't know why. I was like, how does anybody get $20,000? Just like when we had 25,000 for the whole pattern day trade. So it's one of those things, man, where you look at the price tag of a home and you'll be like, what do you mean $1 million, $500,000, $250,000? That's a lot of money. But it is when you realize how they'll give it to you, how it works in the scope of a deal, and that the fact that is probably in your price range, it's mind-blowing. And like I'm saying, with enough knowledge and info, like this is what I've learned over the years. If you have the cash, I could borderline figure out any way to get a loan on a home. That's what I've learned in my experience. And I think you all of you have learned it too, and you will continue to. And this isn't a good thing always, because like I'm saying, you could get a house, you just might not be able to afford it. But the real goal we're looking for is a good deal, something everybody can afford, and then hopefully build equity. That is my number one priority for all of you guys getting a home. That's why I don't want you rushed into it. And I don't think I've rushed any of you this year. I don't like hesitation. I don't like delay. I don't like fear. But I do think that you gotta you'll naturally find a good home, and it'll all make sense. And it won't be something that you'll have to force. It just all will be there, and it's just possible. And I think a lot of people don't know that it is. It's not. They think it's impossible, but truly, you could get one, and you just got to make sure you can build that equity up, and it's a good enough deal. And if you do that, that's the goal, and that's how you're gonna win. And then that's how it leads you into a nice life of building assets and becoming an owner. And then hopefully, it gives you that. Why does Intel's gonna go crazy today? I've seen 4 of these fucking weird ass candles. Most of the algos are tweaking. So yeah. But other than that, is there any other questions? You guys got me on a home rant, bro. You know what I'm saying? You got me on a home. I like homes though. I'm a big fan. I like real estate, and I think again, like I'm telling you, you add it into everything, you'll be good to go. Good morning. Will I reset the muted list? Yes, I did already. So what ended up happening at the end of the quarter, I did unban as many people as possible. And then YouTube did change the system. So everybody got thrown into the black hole if I wasn't able to unban you by then. And then I told everybody at the beginning of the month, we had like a week to email me your channel link so I could get it unbanned. So if you haven't been banned recently and aren't on the list that I've made with the channels, then yeah, you'll just have to wait until then. But I think you'll be good. So, but yeah, I've tried to unban as many people as possible. I have a list here of anywhere from 2 to 15 people a day, and those will all get unbanned at the end of the month. So, yeah, but no worries. Like I said, with Intel and some of the other ones, even UNH, there's been some awesome plays, and I know some of you do not like the way I ban, but you are still able to hear the opportunity. And like I'm saying, is I've killed it, bro. I've been killing, I've had a couple of losses here and there, but this year my accuracy, the opportunities, I'm killing it. And like I'm saying, I need a clear mind. I need a clear space. I think I could perform better for myself and everybody, just not listening to trash and having a clear-cut approach. So I'm not calling any of you that, but we're going to have a really high standard in here because it works. So if you're not getting it, like, and this is what I'm trying to I hope I could encourage this. Maybe the chatting isn't the biggest thing, you know? And like I'm telling you, like, if you're frustrated with me over the chat, why not just like listen and then make some money off of the info, or like get prepared and then tell me how you feel? Because you don't need to talk, like, for real. And like, sadly, I've learned, and what I see with the culture is just like, I've seen more people talk than move. Again, bro, I want to raise the membership price because of how many people I was banning, but now I'm hesitating because I'm like, dude, we just discovered something yesterday. I'm not even kidding you. The days where we have the most bans, it is either the day before or the day of a major gain of 1,000%er. That's what I've noticed. That's why I don't want to alter it now, and I want to see if that keeps verifying. But like I'm telling you, bro, it's kind of crazy, but I want you guys to get the info and the opportunity. And even at the beginning of the year, man, like, you know, and I said, let me see the video. We got a little bit of time, but I'm probably gonna rant really long. But I think it's good learning, man. And I know people get angry with me, but at the end of the day, it's like I'm really hoping. I want it to be clear where I stand. I want the truth to be clear, and I want you to have a real learning experience that's not based in ambiguity. And you know what I'm saying? That you'll know where I stand, you'll know all of it. And like I'm saying, if you really are locked in, I want to encourage you all to start monetizing the info, and that way you'll less likelihood of you becoming a scammer. Because if you can monetize the info, you're not going to try to monetize other people, and then you're going to get your goals accomplished. So I have a lot of rants to go on, but you know, I don't really care as much because I do care about freedom, baby. Woo! So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here at the Cult, before we do anything, before we try to chase $1, before we try to enrich ourselves, we must pay homage to a very special group of people, and I am talking about the veterans of the United States of America. I cannot underestimate this, man. For real, bro. Like I'm telling you, I get on the road, bro. I start driving, and I'm like, man, the people who built the roads for us, you know, they make our life easier, bro. The people who have helped us get infrastructure and water and all of it, bro. It's amazing. Don't take it for granted. And above all else, none of those things would be there without freedom. America, bro. Do you not realize what I tell you? Thought, critical thought, be what you want, do what you... Bro, that's America. Dictators around the world, everybody hates that. So that's why every day, bro, not only is it, I do think we need to honor our troops. We need to honor the people who have given up so much. They left their families. They did so much, and they made a sacrifice. They went above and beyond any sort of civilian life for people they've never met. And that's why I'm telling you, bro, that is so important, and I hope all of you could honor it. And at the very least, man, don't you ever lose sight of freedom and what that really means, and freedom in soul, spirit, your religious freedom, all of it, man. So this country is a beautiful thing. It's the literal basis of why we have this opportunity, why we wake up, why we could pursue it, and why you could even stay asleep and not pursue it. You know what I'm saying? Other countries, they make you they don't feel me, bro. So veterans, thank you for everything, and God bless all of you. And I hope that we can help you out because you have already given so much to this land. I think it's now your time to own your portion of it, tenfold at minimum. So God bless all of you, and thank you to your families as well. And if you haven't served, man, I really hope all of you can show some love, man, and really bring this to real life. And you young guys, and let me put it this way: how much of a future do you want? How big of a future? And you want to build, you want to do all this stuff, but you don't want to honor and respect those who made it possible. You want to neglect it? That's crazy. So let's go, baby. And if y'all real serious about the long term, if you're real serious about growing and all that, freedom and your troops in America, Don't you ever lose sight of it, baby. So veterans, their families, God bless you and thank you, baby. And big shout out anybody else out there giving back to their local communities, doctors, nurses, teachers, firefighters, police officers, the janitors, the coaches, the garbage men. Thank you for making your communities run, baby. God bless you. But, ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Place your right hand over your heart. Say it with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all, baby. Summon the judge! Oh, it's game time, baby. Horn off! Woo! Chatadonia. Let's go, baby. Give me the ball. Yeah, what up? Oh, Chad, are you ready? I hope you are. And you're blessed. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Your mind, bro. Your peace. They don't feel me, bro. You gonna hippie your ass to 1 billion, dog. They don't feel clear minds, clear thought. They don't, man. Let's go, Chatadonia. So it's game time. I love you all. If I don't see you, then it wasn't meant to be. But if I do see you, it might have been meant to be. So let's see. But I will see you at Gen Pop. Time to move on over. And God is great. The one true living God, baby. Amen. Amen. All right. I'll see you guys there. Thank you. And thank you, veterans. For real, baby. Let's go.